everyone, welcome back to Shonky Lab. I'm Elton, and this week we are talking about sticker albums and stickers and panini in general, I'd imagine. This week I am joined by Mr. Dave Probert.
Hello.
And Mr. Pete Organ.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you, Mr. Elton.
Jolly good.
Yes, very, very good, thank you.
Good. I had I had a funny thing this morning. I've been going off my tea recently. I don't know why. That's the inner voices talking to me there. They were doing that noise. They were going, why don't you like your tea anymore? What's going on? And
hand in your British passport immediately.
I feel like I need to hand everything that is British in to somewhere. I'm sure there's some sort of exchange that I can hand all my stuff into. But it was today. This morning was the very first morning I can ever remember waking up and not wanting a tea and not having a tea. I've woken up and not had teas because I've been rushing or had to go somewhere or just haven't had it. And then I had like a caffeine come down very early during that day. But today was the very first day that I went tea-free. It's
How are you feeling now?
Do you know what? I remembered it around about 2:00, and I thought, I don't fancy one. And I didn't have a headache or anything like that, because I get a horrible, horrible headache after not drinking it for too long. And yeah, I feel all right. I don't know whether I'm cleansing myself or not.
So is this the beginning of a new tealess future for you?
God, I hope not. I don't know. I don't know whether to go another day or not.
Play it by ear. See what you feel like.
Yeah, if I wake up with horrible headaches tomorrow morning, I know, no, I can't do this any longer. I can't drink coffee because that is gross for me. And, okay, I'll crack back on with the tea. But I don't know what it is. My palate or something like that has changed. And
so I presume this is traditional English tea with milk and because I barely, the only time I drink it is when I'm inevitably offered it when I visit people, because at home I just drink Chinese green tea.
Oh, right.
Which is rather different. It's a knack to making it, but it's really refreshing and light. I can thoroughly recommend it. I'm not being paid any money by the green tea people to say that either. Unfortunately, wish I was.
They're a powerful consortium, the green tea people.
Oh yes. Well, it's China. Let's face it. You don't get much bigger.
So, do you have like milk with this?
No. Just if you do it with tea bags, you literally just tea bag in, hot water in, take tea bag straight out. And tea's just slightly greenish, and it's just a lovely mild flavour. It's lovely. If you leave the tea bag in, it's for anything longer than a minute, it's undrinkable.
Oh, tastes like compost.
You're a paint stripper. Yeah.
Oh dear. God, we're all going all three counties on everyone at the moment, aren't we? Next up, jam jars. Blimey. Okay, so sticker books or sticker albums. I take it you two have had various ones across the years.
Panini!
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember your first one at all? Either of you, cause I was on a podcast last night and it felt very, very stagnant sometimes when I was asked a question. So I'm just going to open it up to everyone. So
Fair enough.
Okay.
The one I have the strongest memories of would be I had a Thundercats one.
Oh, wicked! All right,
And it was specifically for the film, which, or certainly not the later seasons, which I don't think they'd actually put on telly over here at the time. So yeah, it was kind of exciting because you were seeing all these kind of Thundercats stuff that hadn't been on the telly yet. It was when sort of Lion-O was doing all of his trials to become sort of leader of the Thundercats, so he had to take them on in different sort of tasks.
awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, you got to sort of, again, it was just sort of screenshots of the series and stuff, and so some were individual stickers and some were sort of several you put together to make like a multi-panel sort of bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I have the strongest memories of owning. I think I had a Beano one as well, I seem to remember.
Oh wow! I didn't realise Beano did that sort of stuff. I know that they did like the they used to do like a sticker book where you could stick the stickers down and then lift them off again because they had that sheeny.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, I remember those.
Oh yeah, stick and peel. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, bloody hell.
You used to be able to stick them on windows as well, which annoyed my mother intensely, leaving horrible marks.
Wow, what about you, Pete? Do you remember your first one at all?
Yeah, not that this dates it or anything, but it was the Football 80, which is going back a bit. And I remember getting very excited. I don't know where I got it from. They tended to be given away, the actual albums were given away free in Whizzer and Chips.
Yeah.
Which I think is how I ended up with Football 80. And then obviously they started spreading like wildfire in school, so then you had to get involved. That one I got, I mean, that was the first time I discovered the wonder of things like, shiny stickers and all the football badges had the crests, they were all on shinies. And the team stickers were all two set. And I mean, it covered, I don't know whether they still do them today. I don't know they still do the football ones, but whether they're the same, because back in 1980, it covered every single British football league. I mean, British, it covered all the Scottish leagues as well.
Yeah.
Admittedly, by the time we got to Scottish, it was like quarter of a page for each one and just the badge and the team sticker, and that was it. But yeah. And then I ended. And then the big problem with what to do with all your swaps at the end of things when you'd finished collecting, and as a result of that, I ended up with Emlyn Hughes on my bedboard for many a year, gradually fading as the time went by.
Oh, wow.
That's the stuff of nightmares.
I really liked Emlyn Hughes. He was on Question of Sport and everything. He was my idol.
Did the sticker of Emlyn Hughes age? Like he stayed youthful and beautiful, and
that's it.
Emlyn Hughes' sticker aged slowly.
The sticker of Emlyn Hughes. That's a play waiting to happen, isn't it?
Like a Harry Potter page. Awesome. Yeah, I remember Emlyn Hughes being on Question of Sport, and he was the one that always went red when he uncontrollably laughed.
As a beetroot, yeah.
Yeah.
And he always got things wrong as well, didn't he? I seem to remember he had a very kind of high voice, didn't he, Emlyn Hughes?
Yes. Well,
high Welsh voice.
Yeah.
Blimey. My first one was a Transformers one.
Ooh. I had that one as well.
Now,
from the animated series?
Yeah.
The one I had anyway.
But it wasn't from the film or anything. The movie, was it? It was just from
predated the movie. It was just from the first season, I think, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
It had the Dinobots.
I mean, like all the trauma that happens in Transformers the movie, sort of like collecting all the stickers of Optimus Prime's death.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that, would you?
Yeah, oh, look, it's a big 6-page sticker section of Optimus Prime's corpse.
Yeah, got any swaps? Yeah, I've got Prime's head.
And then you'd have to collect them horrible stickers of Hot Rod as well.
Oh, that bloke.
Yeah, him, yeah.
The junk bots.
Yeah, that was the first one I had, and I flipping loved it. I don't think I ever finished it, though.
No.
I have seen them on eBay, though, going for quite a pretty penny.
Of course.
Yeah. What about okay, how did all your stickers, and how did you collect your stickers? Did you just were you given pocket money and you would go out and buy these stickers, or would you get them bought for you, or what? Would you swap most of them, or what?
I'd say it's a bit of all three, really. I'd buy some with some pocket money every so often if I was at the shop with my mum, and she'd get me a pack of stickers, and then obviously there would be the illicit trading of stickers at break times in the playground. And in fact, it's funny that I remember Peter sort of saying that he got some free with the Beano or something. That's how they got you, wasn't it? It was like drugs. Like you got the first few free, but then you had to start paying for it.
That's it, and you did. I mean, it was all your pocket money whilst you were collecting them. Like normally, you'd have a bit of money for a comic and a bit of money for sweets, but when you were collecting the sticker album, that was it, because you were a junkie. You had to spend all your money on the stickers. Grandparents used to get me them as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember spending.
Granddad.
I remember spending a lot of my pocket money, and even paper round money on sticker books as well. And to the point where I was just doing my paper round for stickers. And I think it was at that point where my dad turned around and said, no, you're not just doing a paper round for stickers. And because it was all going back into the person who was paying my wages for my paper round. And so it was kind of a lost cause. I was going out in the morning and just killing myself with tiredness just for these stickers at the end of the day. It's crazy. But what do you remember of the swapping and stuff like that at school?
I was useless at swapping. I was terrible. My mates always had more stickers than me, so I was always at a disadvantage to begin with. And whenever I swapped a sticker, the next packet I bought, I got the one I'd received from my mate that I'd swapped. Oh, bastard! I don't want this now. If I had this last week, ugh! So in the end, I got very cynical about swapping, and I didn't do too much of it, I have to say. So it just then involved buying loads and loads of packets and getting more and more doubles and plastering more in my bedroom with them. But yeah, I had an ET one. I had all these ET pictures stuck all over my door. It's bizarre.
Oh,
well, there'd be the incessant sort of conversation in the playground. It'd be like, got, need, got. And of course, especially people the rarer ones, like you said, the foil covered ones, that sort of thing. Again, the ultra rare ones that are only there'd be one in every 4,000 packets or something.
Yeah, and everyone
holy grail stickers.
Yeah, everyone knew someone who'd seen one of them, but nobody actually had one.
Yeah, because they never turned up in swaps because they were so rare. Like if you got one, it went straight into the album. You weren't swapping that for nobody's business.
Oh God, no, not a chance. What about when you were swapping? Did you have a system? Because we had a system at school where if you had a shiny, because we called them shinies. If let's say I had a shiny and Pete wanted that shiny, he'd have to give me 2 of his normal ones for this shiny. Did that ever happen with you guys?
I'm trying to remember now. Very possibly. Yeah, there were some little bartering systems and stuff that went on.
Yeah, I suspect that was way out of my league, to be honest. I'd say I got too cynical by then for swapping, so I knew I'd only ever get ripped off.
At an early age, Peter was burned by capitalism.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
That would go on at my school for quite a while. Up until the point where the teachers actually cracked down on it because people were inflating the price of these shinies. Because it'd go to 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then someone knew that someone really badly needed that shiny, so they'd just inflate it to 10 or 12. And so they turned around and laid the law down to only shiny for shiny, and that was it.
It's kind of like the free market economy being sort of learnt by kids, because that wasn't something that was taught to us. It was just us working it out for ourselves in terms of sort of what you could sort of trade and stuff.
Yeah, but
nobody sat down and said there wasn't any sort of economist turned up and said you know what you could do. So, what you have here is a valuable commodity. I think you'll find that you can actually charge higher for it. Yeah. We actually sort of came up with these rules by ourselves.
I think greed comes quite naturally, unfortunately, to human beings. Ooh, you really want that, do you? Let me see now. Yeah. I mean, did you see my tweets about what's been happening in my daughter's school? It's a primary school, I hasten to add. But one kid was had up in front of the head teacher for selling his swaps for £5 a throw. £5. And he had £10 in his bag as well at the end of the day. So 2 mugs had presented £5 for stickers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and yet at the same time, you get people sort of paying that for adults, paying that for sort of rare trading cards and stuff
on eBay.
eBay. So while you think, oh yeah, that's a bit unscrupulous, at the same time, it's sort of like you'll go far, kid.
Yeah, he's like you say, it's learning capitalism early, isn't it? But they have a swap club now. They've had to ensure that it's all properly monitored. It's kind of like the stock exchange, I suppose. Yeah, they've got teachers watching over what the deals that are being done to make sure it's all legit and people aren't being ripped off. In fact, it's probably better controlled than the stock exchange.
There's an official regulator.
Yeah.
And there's a bell at the end of the day, and all trading ceases.
Yeah. Swap.
Quickly, before it goes out. Oh, you missed the bell. Nuts.
There's a run on Emily Hughes.
There's a kid at the back with on a blackboard just sort of setting up the stock rates and stuff. Doing a tracker.
So people actually paid £5 for these two stickers then?
Two kids paid £5, and where they got those £5 from, I dread to think.
How much do the actual packets cost these days?
That's a good question.
Because I am collecting now, because there's a Euro tournament coming up very soon. My son wanted a sticker book, and I thought, okay, well, if you're going to have one, then I'm clearly going to have one as well. And so I went out and got one for both of us. And the stickers now are 50p for a pack, and you get 5 in there. But they've shrunk. Either it's because I've got bigger and my hands have got bigger, or stickers have shrunk. And I'm assuming it's probably a matter of both, that the stickers have got a lot smaller. I haven't got an old
It's like the
sticker
waggle
album
wheel
now.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
all
is.
over again.
Yeah.
And it was fiddly enough to get the backs off as it was, particularly the foil ones, because you didn't want to crease the foil ones. But because the technique the most I found with stickers was to peel back a corner, and then you could take the backing off. But if you did that with foil on it left a very ugly line across the top. So then you had to develop long nails to be able to get the backing off. I was shit at stickers. I had an Empire Strikes Back sticker album, which part of me wishes I still have, but part of me is rather glad I got rid of because it was a bit embarrassing because I hadn't seen the film. So I was collecting this sticker album, putting these stickers in, and if I'd have paid more attention to where the printing on the back of the sticker, it wouldn't have been so bad, but I wasn't. And so the scene where Luke is hanging from the ceiling in the Wampa cave.
Yeah.
Well, I naturally assumed he was stood. And I put that in upside down.
Oh,
so
dear.
He's effectively.
It's funny you should mention Empire Strikes Back, because I'm just checking the Mixler chat at the moment, and Jack Woodgate has got a bit of a... He's asking if you're going to be doing arguments later.
It was... I was going to have an argument special. I'm not too sure if I'm going to go for it at the moment, because I'm not feeling great at the moment, so I think it might happen tonight. It might not happen tonight. It probably won't. Probably won't happen tonight, though.
The reason he asks is apparently he's been asking random people about the correct pronunciation of at. As in, do you pronounce it at or ATAT?
Oh, I've heard both, yes. And I don't think it's ever mentioned on the actual film, is it?
No, hardly anything
aren't named.
mentioned by name.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've always been an at man myself.
Well, if
I used to be an AT-AT, and I've become an at, I think.
Yeah, if Jack wants to come on...
Because ATST, you see, doesn't work in any other way other than ATST, does it? You can't say atst. That doesn't work. So it's got to be at. It's got to be AT-AT or an ATST, because otherwise it doesn't work, does it? Ha! Problem solved.
So I'm an AT person. I'm clearly an AT person.
I think it's kind of natural if you have like an acronym that sounds like a word. You're more likely to pronounce it as a word, just because that's more natural.
And
you see what I mean?
It also sounds like attack as well, doesn't it? When you, like, to a child growing up, they could be like, attack. And that would flow quite well with that sort of pronunciation. But, yeah, I've always been AT and ATST. So... I maybe once again it's me sitting on the fence.
No, I mean I'd pronounce it ATST as well, because, like Peter says, it doesn't exactly trip off the tongue the other way. But yeah. But that's our official stance on that subject. Closed.
There you are. Well, I'm going to do a live beer tasting now.
Oh, okay.
I've not had this particular one before, and I know Mr. Dave is a fan of Sharp's Doom Bar.
I am, yes.
Well, I've got some Sharp's Sea Fury, which I've never tried before.
I have not tried that one.
Well, so here we are. I've literally just poured it in my glass. So this is either going to be me spitting all over the microphone because it's horrible, or a nice satisfied sound. Here goes. Tension builds.
Okay.
Don't let it go up your nose.
Yeah, it's all over the beard.
This is riveting radio.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Ooh, dear. It's one of those that's either going to grow on me, or after a few more mouthfuls, I am going to have to put it down the drain. I'm not sure on that one, but yeah. So the jury's out on Sea Fury. So I'll come back to you on that one as and when I've decided whether I like it or not. It's weird.
Is this an ale?
It is an ale, and it's slightly gravy tasting. That's what's worrying me at the moment. Beer shouldn't taste of gravy.
I was sort of worried it's made with seawater, given the name or something.
Yeah, well, it's not brackish, which was my big worry.
Right.
We have had some brackish ales before now that we couldn't drink, so we gave to Matt Dillon when he was too drunk to know better and drink.
Well done, well done.
Oh yeah, he drinks all our stuff we don't like. It's quite funny. What was that? It was the toffee liqueur stuff we couldn't stand, and he drank it all. Bless him. So he's your man. If you want any dodgy drink finishing off, Matt Dillon's your man. It's definitely tasted of gravy. Very strange.
Gravy? No, I couldn't do that. No, thank you. Anyway, getting back to the stickers and at hand. Yes. One thing that crossed my mind when I was listening to Pete drink gravy was the mind capacity of young children to remember their full sticker book and know exactly what they've got and what they need.
Yes.
I don't see lots of... Because it's not a fad anymore, it's just... I think Panini make it for the 40-year-old to reminisce about collecting stickers and get their kids into it. And so, they've got me. Well done, Panini. Your work is done. But you don't see kids on street corners swapping and exchanging and brown paper envelopes and all that sort of stuff with stickers. But when I was at school, it was a case of you knew exactly what was in your book, you knew exactly what you had, and you knew exactly what was in your swap pile. And that memory capacity was amazing.
It wasn't the numbers. So I didn't memorize the numbers. It was all the pictures for me and the empty spaces in the album. I think that's the way I remember, because I've never had any memory for numbers. I still don't know my mobile phone number, and I've had it for God knows how many years now, 6 or 7 years. Then I never ring it, so why would I know it? But I think it was all the pictures I needed and the spaces that needed to be filled in the album. And then there was the thing of what to do if you, because I only ever completed one album. And that was because you could do that thing, couldn't you? When you were down to your last dozen or whatever it was, you could send off for the final stickers. Yeah. But at that point, I'd usually lost interest, so I never did it. So then you'd have lots of spaces, particularly with the double pictures. And then a bit later on, I'd then go through with a pen and fill in the rest of the image, either accurately or comically, depending. I mean, the E.T. one I seem to remember was, it wasn't good. And the Return of the Jedi one I had, the missing pictures on that, and there were lots of multi-sticker pictures in that one. I then filled up with lots of extra TIE fighters and X-Wings, basically, because they were easy to draw. So my version of Return of the Jedi was even more filled with spaceships than the actual Lucasfilm version.
Should have used some of your leftover football stickers. Have look, Jabba the Hutt's got Emily Hughes' face.
Yes. Emily Hughes orders a drink in the cantina. Yeah.
Han Solo plays for Crystal Palace.
Chewie's on the pitch. They think it's all over.
Oh dear. What about the actual sticking itself? Because you had the multi-panel ones. Did you ever come across that frustration of, okay, I have to overlap a sticker here?
Oh yeah, I remember being a real sort of stickler for being just everything had to be inside the lines, sort of perfectly. And when you were doing like the multi-sticker ones, sort of like trying to be very careful lining it up and everything was straight, because you wanted the final picture to be perfect. Which sometimes it wasn't just because of the way the stickers have been cut. So there wasn't sort of like much you could do about that, but like just going, oh no, it must be precise, it must be exact.
Of course, if you've then got a swap of the right one, you could then line the swap up properly and overlay it on top of the one you got wrong, and you're all right. The downside is it was one of those like 9 stickers making up a picture, and you got the top left-hand corner, the bottom right-hand corner. It's like, oh, flip, how am I going to get this, gradually to work over time as I got the rest of the stickers? Gits.
I never even thought about that. I always just stuck it into the squares. Nowadays, I would actually get that whole panel and then stick it in one go.
Wait until you've got them all, but I never had the patience for that, you see. And as to getting it within the box, there were the boxes, but the boxes were never quite the same size as the stickers for some reason,
They're not now.
It was yeah, that hasn't changed either. Okay.
No, they're not now. The first one I stuck in on this one, I got it all lined up, and then once you're lining up your first sticker, you have massive flashbacks to all the other stickers that you've all stuck in incorrectly, and all the other books that you've tried to complete. And I was lining it up, and now is it a case of the sticker goes in the box or on the box? And so the first one, okay, right, I'll go in the box, and you lay it down, and you think, oh, that looks, oh no, it's not, no, you got to be on the box. And that frustration, and then it all just welled up inside me, and then it was, 22 years of hurt just flooding back to me.
Tears falling on your album. And tell me, Elton, if you're still collecting them, is the smell the same?
Yes.
When you open the packet, because that was a glorious moment, a fresh packet smell.
It's exactly the same, yes. I do like it. I'm not one for the smells of stuff normally, but that is just childhood. But one big difference between nowadays and I suppose only a few years back is that they've changed their style with stickers. Now, right, I've got the actual album in front of me. This album has got, hang on, it has, how many stickers in this album? It's monstrous. 680 you've got to collect on this.
Army.
That's huge amounts. I think the other one before that, 2014 one, was 600, maybe just over 600, I think it was. So, they're trying to get their money's worth out of this.
Inflation, yes.
Yeah, but they don't just do the square stickers. Now they've cut these stickers down the centre, and so you can have 2 players on the same sticker, which is it's bizarre. And so now you have 2 thin stickers on one sticker.
Right. That sounds really weird.
It is, because it's always the same 2 people next to each other. So you're just filling up 2 spaces instead of 1. So there's no real... They could have really screwed you over by swapping it every time on different people on the different stickers. And so you have, let's say, an England player on the left and an Argentina player on the right. But they don't do that. They just keep 2 Portuguese players on that same sticker. So they could have screwed us over even more. But it was, when I first came to it, it was, that's nice. That's different. I like that. And then it's just, now I've got 2 to put in instead of 1.
So what do you do for swaps as a grown man who presumably your work colleagues or whatever aren't also collecting the same stickers? You're not going to get to do it on a lunch break or something?
No, it's just between me and my son. That's it.
Right.
Well, the power dynamic there is a bit askew, isn't it? You're talking that with me, son. I've no pocket money for you.
I know how this works, mate. I really do.
We get some sticker memories on the chat. So Jack Woodgate says he used to collect the Flash Gordon stickers when the film came out, but unfortunately, when the first sticker he opened had a big spoiler on it.
Oh no!
What?
DJM253 says that he had a Panini dinosaur album and had a wild animal album for them as well, and also asks what genius thought it was a good idea to do multi-panel stickers to be used by children. Mine always came out looking so janky and crooked.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Doreen says sticking in the album required concentration. Top corner aligned across to the other top corner, other top corner, and so on. So yes, Doreen had a strategy by the sound of it.
Wow.
I think she had like a protractor and stuff by the sounds of it in order to get it right.
That's awesome. Right, I've got some notes here. You've already spoken about the smell and stuff like that. I was looking through the internet for sticker albums. I don't know whether this is true or not, but there was obviously E.T. ones. Pete, you had that one.
Mm-hmm.
There was Care Bear ones, which I didn't.
Funnily enough, I didn't have that one.
Yeah. World Cup ones, football ones, Euro ones. There was a Threads one.
What? Okay.
Threads the sticker album.
Well, this I've seen it. I don't know whether it is someone's photoshopped it or not.
Surely.
That sounds like a joke. I don't think that could have possibly been an actual sticker album. So, yes, collect stickers of the nuclear apocalypse of the 80s.
Imagine children just swapping them over in the playground while eating Wotsits as well.
Yeah, I've just found an image of it, and it's very much a mock-up, I'm afraid.
Oh, nuts. Damn.
Yeah.
That's a pity.
I'll put it through on the Skype thingy.
I sort of like it as a concept.
Yeah, it is. It's quite cool. I did have a tweet from Herc. He popped up, as he does every now and again, and he did give me a tweet, so I did say I want to read this out, right? He said, years ago, I had a Mighty Max sticker album. I had 6 stickers left, one a shiny. Pack after pack, they just wouldn't appear. Then one day, my dad brings home a few packs. One of them was all 6, and he swears this really happened. Now, this is where we get really Herc. Assuming there's 200 stickers in an album, the chances of that happening are 1 in 60 trillion. Hashtag miracles do happen. Oh dear.
Well, I can't argue with that for obvious reasons, but I'm not sure whether the good Lord has much power over Panini. But anyway, I found the Thundercats sticker album.
Is that the green one?
Yeah. Ooh. And it was the Smurfs one. I had that one. That was definitely a Free Wizard and Chips jobby. I would never have bought that otherwise.
No.
It was apparently an 18 one. Damn, I missed out on that.
Yeah, in fact, Gareth Thomas has just popped up into the chat. Says he had the 18 one, and he had the Star Wars one, and apparently his mums did send off the check to the back page to complete his Transformer album. Get the swaps.
Yeah.
No, I was never allowed to do that. I think it was just a case of, no, if you can't collect them, then we're not going to send off and just so you can complete the book. So never really got around to doing it. The only time we have done that nowadays, when we've all grown up and everything, is when the first Transformers movie came out, which I quite like for my sins. There was a sticker album for that.
What, the live action one?
Yeah. And we did manage to finish that, but it was a case of there's forums and everything to fill out your book, and typing in, like, I need number 157, 158, 642, and you just go through all this, and people exchange them with you, and it works really well. I'm surprised that it works really well.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, kind of sticker albums and that sort of thing, you probably think there'd be a boom for that online, because it'd be a much easier thing to do swaps for, like on like an online forum or something.
Yeah, I would have thought so, definitely. What did you guys do with once you'd completed a book, or once you'd just got bored of the book, what did you do with your swaps?
Lunchbox. I had a very sort of a sticker-heavy lunchbox.
Right.
And just on exercise books, that sort of thing. You know, just pretty much any way you could put a sticker.
Right.
Yeah, they've just covered my bedroom, basically. Bedroom door, bed itself. Yeah, my mum despaired, really.
Oh my God, Pete, you've just put that 18 one in the chat.
Yeah, how excuse the phrase, shonky does that look? That's not a proper picture from the show, is it? It's somebody's bad illustration. In crayon, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like the cover of one of those cassette book tie-in things you'd get.
It looks like the cover of an issue of Looking, actually, doesn't it? I've suddenly got wet play feelings coming back to me all over again.
Well, you keep your fetishes to yourself, will you?
Yeah, they do still call it wet play, don't they? This isn't something I've accidentally... Come home, I had wet play today. God.
There's forums for that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
Dear. That 18
I've just
one.
been handed a note from Gillian, who said that in 1987, her and her brother won a football sticker album and a whole box of stickers. And they completed the whole album except for Jan Mobley.
Okay.
Molby, sorry, Jan Molby.
He was a Tottenham player, wasn't he?
Yeah, I guess. I was too busy collecting Thundercat stickers to know who he played.
Oh, that was another one I had, the Secret Wars sticker album.
So, is it a myth that if you could buy a box of these stickers, that all the stickers for your book would be in that?
Well, I suppose it depends on... I suppose her could be able to do the maths as to sort of how many stickers were in a box and how many spaces you had to fill in the album. So, yeah, like... say you got, like... So, I mean, a box must have had, like, a couple of thousand in it or something.
I don't know.
I mean...
Yeah. So, like, when you think, like, yeah, you've probably got, like, say, 1,000 stickers and you've only got, like, say, 200 spaces to fill in the album. Logically, I mean, to be fair, like Gillian's story, that so like she had an entire box of stickers and still didn't complete the album.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like it was a myth. Yeah.
Blimey. Yeah. I've always fancied just buying a book and then buying a big box of it, and then just slowly working my way through, in the knowledge that I probably would end up finishing it anyway. But I suppose that defeats the objective of the... You never know what you could get from someone else.
It takes the frisson of excitement about what's going to be in the packet, doesn't it? If you know you've got them all to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that Dandy Beano album you've just sent a picture over for, Peter, that's the one I had.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely the one I had.
Celebrating, was it 51 years or something?
Yeah, it was 50 years of the Beano, I think it was, yeah.
Wow, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I think I did that. What year would that have been then?
Oh, God,
50
now you're
years.
talking. I suppose it must have been, what? I was still in junior school, so probably about sort of 85, 86 maybe.
Okay. I remember that cover. I don't know. I don't know. But that Transformers one that you've put in the chat, yes, that is the one that I had. I think that's the one that everyone had.
Yeah.
Flipping loved that.
I think it came free with, unsurprisingly, the Transformers comic, which is how I ended up with it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, DGM253 says that his non-album stickers got plastered on the side of his dresser and loads of scratch and sniff stickers.
Oh my. Yeah, I'd forgot about those.
Did they go in an album? How would you know you were doing it in the right order?
I think...
Did you have to match the smell?
Yeah, no, I do. You did have an album, but it was very rough and ready, I seem to remember. Yeah, it was cheap and nasty. I can't remember if you bought the album separately or you had to send off for it. But yes, I did have a scratch and sniff. I didn't get very many of the stickers because Mother didn't approve.
Well, how are you going to do swaps with scratch and sniff stickers? That's going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Like, imagine you had a cold that day.
Dave, you didn't just have to rely on the smell. So, for instance, if it was Doggy Doo, there was a picture of a comedy.
Oh, right, okay. So they were visual. So just in my
they
head,
weren't just blank.
They were all
It's like the white label version, isn't it?
Just a blank white label. You just have to
Braille Panini sticker album.
Underground stickers. They're all white. It's just the smell.
Update on the Sea Fury, by the way. I'm liking it now. Halfway into it, and it's very pleasant. So.
You've acclimatised, have you?
Ooh. Yes, the gravy smell has gone to be replaced with a nice malty smell. So.
Oh, excellent. Is that a bottle or can?
Yeah, it's a bottle. That is, yes.
Okay.
Sharp Sea Fury, well worth checking out. And again, I'm not being paid any money by Sharps, unfortunately.
DJM253 also says, anyone fancy a freshly mowed grass sticker? I'd assume, because I've never seen these, I'd assume that it would be a picture of grass, and then you'd stick that into a book of some description. Would there be like a story that goes along with this, or was it just...
No, they were thematically arranged, I seem to remember. So there was like, things
smells to clash.
Yeah, exactly. So there were things you'd find in the kitchen, for instance, and things you'd find on the pavement.
Is this a true thing?
Yeah. It's a very vague memories of it. It was a long time ago now. But yes, I definitely had a scratch and sniff sticker album.
Wow.
I don't know why I've been sent a picture of Malcolm Shotton from Oxford United.
Well, it's the unfortunate shirt sponsorship that just made me giggle. Having to play. Can you imagine the shame of having to play? Because it was a computer, wasn't it, at one time?
Right.
Wang computers were a thing. Having to turn up for your team with Wang written across your chest was a bit...
Oh no! I remember getting on buses on the way home from school, and just Charlton Athletic players plastered all over backs of seats, and I would never sit behind them because I didn't like Charlton, and so I wouldn't sit behind it. Like, no, I'm not sitting there. It's got Charlton on it. No way, not happening.
I'll stand.
Yeah, I'd rather stand than sit next to Charlton. That's the Charlton seat. No, I do remember kids. There was a time where we were collecting football stickers, and one of the kids got on the top row of a 51 bus on the way home from school, and put a sticker on every single window, and the camera on the top deck as well. I don't know why he did this, but he obviously had lots and lots of swaps. Very strange. But there was always one kid who would have a wad of swaps. He was like Tony Soprano, and getting out all of his £100 notes. He'd have it rolled up.
Norman shaking their hands with swaps in his palm, sort of thing. Make people off.
But they would have wedges of this, and they'd be all wrapped up in rubber bands, and be like, okay, right, and you'd hear the rubber band twang off, and it'd be like, okay, right, here we go. Got, need. Oh, it was brilliant. I do miss them days. I kind of wish my workmates would do that, but I feel like I'd be frowned upon at some points.
Oh, what's this thing you've just sent through? That's not a real moustache.
I can't help feeling it can't be, but yeah, apparently it is.
No. I refuse to believe there was a professional footballer with that moustache.
It's straight out of a Victorian gentleman, expect to well waxed.
That'll give you an unfair advantage, surely. It'd be like, as soon as you did a header, you'd be able to bat it into the goal with that thing. It's like having a cricket bat stuck to your face.
Oh, dear.
That is amazing.
Wow. Abe van der Ban.
There should be a sticker book full of people with just moustaches, maybe.
But great moustaches of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, what sticker books should there be?
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So wait, Jack's just sent through the picture of the sticker he opened, which got him spoiled. It's a picture of Ming the Merciless right at the end with the spike of the rocket through his chest.
Oh,
that's
so good.
Oh, bless you. Oh, he just suggested there should be a Breaking Bad sticker book.
Yeah, I'd do that. Then obviously you have to be a Game of Thrones one as well. Then
again, you'd be into difficult spoiler territory, wouldn't you? There.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, can you imagine collecting the Red Wedding selection?
Oh.
Everything's just drenched in blood.
Pete, what would you have? Do they do Star Trek ones at all?
I'm trying to remember if there was. I have a feeling there may be, but to Google, I think, to find that one out. But yeah, there was. I think it was just covering the first season, so not exactly something you'd particularly go out to get. But I'm pretty sure there was one, because there was a Marvel Star Trek comic for a while.
Oh yes, yes.
And I have a feeling it may have been given away for. Yes, I found it. Yeah. So I must have had that at some stage.
Was that like a original series or next gen?
Next gen, but just first season. Woo.
Oh wow, nice. So
yeah, so there'll be a page
Code of Honor stickers.
Yeah. There'll be there'll be a page of Wesley's jumpers, basically. You know.
Doreen said there should be a Warehouse 13 sticker book.
Yeah, sounds cool. I like Warehouse 13. It's a good show.
Yeah. There'd obviously have to be a Lost one. There'd have to be a Star Wars one. What else could there be? Obviously, moustaches and facial hair, maybe. I'm
surprised sort of like old school Doctor Who fans haven't got like a sort of a behind the scenes team sticker book where you collect all the directors and floor managers and costume designers and stuff like that. Because that's the sort of ephemera a lot of Doctor Who fans are into, sort of who worked all the behind the scenes stuff.
There should be a royal sticker book, and all the shinies would be Prince Philip making a gaff.
Collect all the corgis.
Doreen suggested a Ready Room sticker book.
Hey, excellent.
Yes.
An entire album just of Ready Rooms with several pages with Livingston the fish. Yes, it's got to be done.
I'm surprised that they didn't do adult versions.
Do you mean porn sticker albums?
Yeah.
You've got the two stickers making the one picture, and you've only got the one half. That would be a bit bad, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Lining up nipples.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like those old school kind of peanut boards they used to have in pubs of a sad lady who would be revealed more as you bought more peanuts.
Yes.
Here's one thing that I have noticed recently. Okay, right. You have a choice, right? You have two stickers, which fill into a 2-sticker picture. Now they are cut differently, so they're slightly cut from different molds. So do you line up the picture or keep the stickers in the box?
Oh, don't make me choose.
No, you have to.
This
is the choice you have to make.
This is the Sophie's Choice of sticker albums. This is I think ultimately I would preserve the picture.
I think you have chosen wisely.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, unless you're going into some sort of abstract expressionism, sort of like the Picassos or something.
Well, let's take this to your adult sticker book, and you have a young man or a young lady, and they're laying on their side, and so you can see the side of their body, the curvature, as you would. You know, imagine that not lining up. It'd be very awkward. It'd bug me every time I open that page.
It would be a difficult fap, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
You know what sticker album I would have liked? Street Hawk.
Ooh.
It should have been a Street Hawk sticker album.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, surely there was a Knight Rider one then.
That must have been, mustn't there? Let's have a look.
I thought it had been a Knight Rider one. Street Hawk, there were just fewer episodes.
Was there Doctor Who ones at all?
There was, the new series.
Yeah, I was going to say, I imagine new series, old series, probably.
It covered the first couple of seasons, so it's about 10 years old now. But yeah, I actually that's the one I actually completed, but that was because I was a wee bit older.
Yeah, because sticker albums sort of were only really kind of on the rise as the sort of original run of the series was sort of coming to a close, and it wasn't really as big in the public eye kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think they did do sort of like so I suppose like the old sort of cigarette cards or those kind of trading card things. Yeah, just like the smaller collections. I think you get.
Yeah.
The word on Knight Rider, by the way, is bubblegum cards, but no stickers, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Right.
And bubblegum cards were poop, weren't they? Because the bubblegum was always horrible and dry and manky and rancid. And the cards themselves, because they didn't come with an album, so what did you do with them once you had them?
I'm glad you've come onto this, because there are football ones where they brought this out. But what cards do you remember getting? Because I got the Simpsons packets, and I've still got them up in my loft. And they were collections, and you'd get in the packet, you'd get 4 cards and a sticker with that.
Right.
All right. I had some Battlestar Galactica, as in the original Battlestar Galactica bubblegum cards. A friend gave to me. I didn't. Yeah. Again, what you do once you got them, because there's no album for them. Whereas you remember the Tazos when they redid the Star Wars films.
Yes. Yeah. In fact,
with the package crisps.
Gillian still has the Star Wars book that you put the Tazos in. She still got that somewhere.
Yeah, because you could get the album, and it was really satisfying sticking the big card Tazos in.
Yeah,
I think with the bubblegum cards, you can get little kind of albums, with sort of little pockets you could put the cards in, sort of like a display book kind of thing.
I think I might have found one.
I think that's the sort of thing you have to sort of send off for.
Well, the football ones, they do the albums that you can put the cards into, but then they give you you have to buy the albums that the cards go into, and then a player will swap teams, and so they'll bring out another card, and then they'll do that for every transfer window, and so you end up with the same player in different shirts, and it's really a license for them to print money. And
what a surprise!
But
but probably doing deals with football agents on the side. Any chance you can sell him? We got a whole load of other things to print out here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Scope out the album, by the way, for the Knight Rider bubblegum cards with the most 80s font ever.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's straight out of Multicolour Swap Shop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, yeah.
What about Garbage Pail Kids? Were they cards?
They were cards.
Yeah, they were cards. Yeah, I do. I didn't collect them myself, I don't think. I don't remember particularly, but I remember them being about.
Yeah, I don't think I was allowed to collect them, because they were gross.
Yeah.
My mum didn't like them at all.
They came with sweets again that weren't very good, I seem to remember.
Well, yeah, you get the crappy old chewing gum. It was supposed to be bubble gum, but it just turned into cement in your mouth.
Well, as DJM253 says, the gum could have been used as an improvised prison weapon.
Yes, as a shiv. Oh, no. There's this series of bubblegum cards I wish I caught. There's a Dukes of Hazzard bubblegum cards. Wow. With Boss Hog.
Scott Copperman has joined the chat, and he said the worst were the cards that were pre-printed on cereal boxes of Twinkie boxes, and you had to cut them out. So you had to do all the work yourself.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's like, that's pay. I mean, but to be fair, at least you're getting Twinkies with it as well. It's not like you're buying the cards on a big flat. You're buying the cards on a big flat bit of card, and then you got to cut them out yourself, and that's it. At least it's a byproduct of owning Twinkies.
So you got an angry kid sat on the floor eating Twinkies full of sugar with scissors.
Yeah, I can see nothing wrong with that. Nothing but success.
Do we want this?
I'm cutting out. Ah, my finger!
Quick, eat another Twinkie. That'll cure it.
Nothing but good could come from this scenario, surely.
Oh God! More than one Twinkie in one session, really. You start to see spots in front of your eyes. They're so loaded with sugar.
Yeah, it's brilliant. If you have about like 4 in a row, it's sort of like the end sequence of 2001.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. I just discovered Tesco's have started doing them, so I've introduced myself to Twinkies, and wow.
Well, I have a Twinkie maker. Gillian bought me one for my birthday a couple of years ago. It's imported from America, so we had to get like a plug adapter, so it worked in a European plug. But basically, it's like a sandwich toaster. So it's like a little thing that you fold it down, and it just sort of heats up. You sort of squirt a little bit of oil in there, and you put your cake mix in, and then you close it up, and you leave it for about 5 minutes, and then you've got fully formed little cake bars.
And the advantage is, I guess, you've got control over how much sugar you're pouring into those and various additives as well. So,
well, yes. I mean, in fact, the last lot I made was a variant on. Peter will be familiar with this. I mean, there is a chocolate Guinness cake, which we have the recipe for.
Oh, that is glorious!
Yeah, with sort of mascarpone kind of like filling and stuff. And so I did the same recipe, but made little Twinkie bar versions of it, and pumped the filling inside. So it was like chocolate Guinness Twinkies with mascarpone filling. They were awesome.
Wow. That sounds scary, actually. I don't think I want to go anywhere near that.
Well, basically, it just makes tiny cakes. So you can basically just get any cake mix you want and make the cakes in Twinkie shapes.
I've just found, by the way, the Sharp Intake Breath, another sticker album I had, which was the Gremlins sticker album.
Oh, actually, I vaguely remember that.
Bear in mind,
I had it myself.
When it came out in this country, it was a bloody 15, so I was not allowed to see it. So I had the Gremlins sticker album, which was clearly aimed at kids, despite the fact they couldn't bloody see it. I had the Gremlins tie-in novelisation. I had the Gremlins tie-in, I think it was Marvel, did a comic book adaptation. And I even had a Gremlins book and tape, back in the days of cassette tapes. And the tape was bright green, and it was narrated by bloody Tom Baker. That was how awesome it was. I had everything Gremlins, except I couldn't see the feckin' film.
Scott's just sent us a link to the Twinkie boxes. I mean, the picture he said isn't for Twinkies, it's for some things called Yankee Doodles. Which appear to be sort of chocolate cakes filled with the same sort of Twinkie filling. But yeah, basically you get sort of 3 baseball cards on the back. And you have to sort of, collect the whole set, 33 players in all.
Oh, jeez. See, that is the perfect...
America wonders why it has an obesity problem.
Yeah.
That is a perfect excuse for getting out the guillotine to cut them straight edges, isn't it?
Oh, yes. There's a guillotine at work, and I occasionally have to use it. There is still, to this day, something satisfying about getting multiple bits of paper just going straight through.
So I've just found another improbable sticker album, although I'm not sure if it's real or Photoshop, but a June, as in the dire 80s version of June sticker album.
Surely that's just as probable as the Threads one.
Well...
Jack has said on the chat that Ashens did a video on the bubblegum with June cards in.
Yeah. So
it's possible, I suppose.
Oh,
because they were kind of going for the Star Wars audience with that, weren't they? But because it was what's his face directing it, Twin Peaks guy.
Yeah, David Lynch.
It was never going to be, kiddie friendly, was it? So they got the wrong director in for that one, didn't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, should we move this on to collections, I suppose? We might as well. Okay, right. In the chat, Doreen has said, do you remember the Kellogg's bike reflectors? I certainly do. I had them on my bike.
Yeah, I think so. I vaguely remember those.
Were they the ones that made the clacky noise? Or was that something else?
No,
there was something similar. They did those kind of round things that went in the spokes as well.
There was Spooky Dokies.
That's it, Spooky Dokies. Yes, I had some of them.
Spooky Dokies.
Yeah. But I had the reflectors. I used the reflectors as well. But I had Spooky Dokies, but I found it with the Spooky Dokies, they'd go round once and then you'd be going far too fast for them to make any noise whatsoever. And so the centrifugal force would just send them out and then they'd get jammed and then that was it.
Curse you, science!
Exactly.
You see, I was never that athletic, so it wasn't an issue.
Well, you never even went downhill.
Well, yes, occasionally, but usually with my hands firmly clamped on the brakes as a born coward. I had this thing where I had the brakes. For some reason, I decided the best place for the brakes, rather than the natural place underneath the handlebars, I always had them above. I don't know why I insisted on that, but I liked that idea, which was fine until my mate borrowed my bike and was hurtling down a hill, went for the brakes, And of course they weren't where he was expecting them to be, and cracked his chin open, poor chap.
Oh, nice.
Still has a scar to this day.
Is that the bike equivalent of when they cut the brake lines in a car in a TV show?
It's similar. Yeah, it's not quite so vicious.
Where are the brakes?
Yeah, I used to. It was a fold-up bike as well. Do they still do those with a big bracket in the middle, so that you could literally fold the entire bike in half? The downside was it didn't have a crossbar, so it looked like a girly bike. So I was always being teased for that. But I could pull the most amazing stunts by undoing the bolt and still riding it.
Well, I think nowadays people use the scooters now, don't they?
Yes, I suppose they do. Yes,
they still have like folding bikes. I see them on the train all the time. So
yeah,
they're always really unwelcome when the train's really, really busy, and you got some bloke with his cycle helmet on and his Mac and carrying his folding bicycle, while everybody else is sort of pushed up against each other already. They're always a very unwelcome sight.
I found you some scratch and sniff stickers, by the way, just to show you that they did indeed have pictures on them.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to see these.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
And and to be honest, most of the time, they needed the picture because the smell was just sort of indeterminate, horrible smell. So without the picture, you'd have no idea what they were aiming for, really.
So was this a recent thing then, or was this back in the 90s and 80s?
What, scratch and sniff?
Yeah.
That was the 80s.
Yeah, because you don't see it around nowadays, do you?
No, there's probably all sorts of deadly chemicals in them. Things they got away with when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. They're laced with lead and LSD at the same time.
Yeah, probably. Yes, we were all tripping our tits off back in the day. This stuff's good, man.
Yeah, and then the government didn't want them having lead in them, so they just removed the lead and left the LSD there where it was. Did anyone collect the coins that came out with either World Cups or like Italy 90? You'd have a coin collection that you'd have to get at petrol stations, and you'd fill up with your petrol. Your mum and dad would fill up with petrol, and after so many miles you'd get coins, and it was such a faff just to get all the coins for this thing.
We never got bloody coins, you lucky bag. We got fucking glasses.
Glasses?
For garages, glasses, yeah. To drink your squash from.
The early loyalty thing, like the SO Tiger tokens, like or like Premier points and stuff, and like if you did have driver, you can swap them for like a glass tumbler set or a set of steak knives or something. It's like basically like you could swap it for the contents of the bullseye prize board.
Yeah.
Scott has said, my brother just sent me a picture of something we used to collect. Those lead inch-high figurines made when you play Dungeons and Dragons. They were mini statues, and we used to paint them with model paint. That's pretty much Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, I was going to say,
stuff.
It's probably very early Games Workshop. They certainly did a tie-in for... There was a series of books. There wasn't Fighting Fantasy. It was a similar approach, though, called Lone Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
And they did tie-in figures for that. And they were proper lead, really heavy and really deadly.
I got the app for that, and somebody did an app that recreated the Lone Wolf books.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just sort of play through the Lone Wolf books, and it did all the dice rolls for you and stuff.
Well, the clever thing about the Lone Wolf books, just to go off topic for a minute, was that they had the dice rolls on the pages. So you didn't need dice to play it. You could just flick through the book to get your dice roll. But they didn't think it through because, of course, as soon as you've done that, you've lost the page you're on. So you had to remember to write down what entry number you're at before you then flick the pages to get your random dice roll. Otherwise, you were screwed. And there were tables involved as well, I seem to remember. You cross-referenced the number you got on another number, and it gave you whether you'd won or not. It was bizarre.
Yeah, but I think that's how the combat went. Sort of, if you got certain numbers and then you rolled for the enemy and they got, cause I think you added the score to their already existing kind of defense or attack scores and stuff.
My problem was I got these Lone Wolf figures, but I'd only got a single paint set from Games Workshop back in the days when they only did about 3, and the paint set I got hadn't got any skin colours. That's why it wasn't. and so I ended up painting all the guys' skins orange because that was as close as I could get. And I got Lord of the Rings ones as well. And Gandalf had orange skin. It was Gandalf the Orange.
It was a Peter Stringfellow.
Yes, Donald Trump. Yeah.
Do you remember the Kellogg's Star Wars busts that you used to be able to collect?
Where they all carry fishes?
Not that bust.
Oh.
I'm going to put a picture.
Do I put Star Wars busts into my search engine, or is that going to give me the wrong thing?
No, I'll let me just.
I would.
Let me just send you this
Blow
picture.
It.
Oh, hang on. I had quite a few of these. It came out when the Phantom Menace first came out.
I've never heard.
I think I kind of remember them, but they're a bit odd looking, aren't they?
They are. They're Darth Maul doesn't really look like Darth Maul.
Well, I've put Star Wars bust in, and all I've got is a load of things you see when you go into Forbidden Planet and cost about £500 each.
Oh, I think Scott's just put up on the chat the thing of Muscle Men. Remember Muscle Men?
Yeah.
Basically, just like little pink muscly fellas.
Muscle Men, right? I'm going to have a look at that.
Yeah, there are pictures on the chat box on Mixler.
Okay. Is it Drew and Tracy?
It is, yeah. Hello there.
Look there.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys. We was listening in and we thought, why don't we dial in?
Why not, indeed.
I was intrigued by the sticker Panini albums that you were talking about.
Are you doing any at the moment? Probably not. But
Not at the minute, but we kind of regressed to our childhood where we were kind of thinking about... Because the main Panini stickers were football, weren't they?
Yeah.
But from a girl's point of view, we had Barbie.
Ooh.
Which was shit.
I didn't even know Barbie Panini existed.
And it made you hate her even more for some reason. We were just talking about... was it Doreen's point about the... Spooky dokey things in cereal packets.
Yeah.
Where actually now they've kind of cottoned on because they put the prize in a cereal packet outside of the cereal. But when you go back to when we were kids, the toy was like in the packet of cereal. So you had to either eat it for about 6 weeks before you got the toy, or you literally emptied the whole packet out on your kitchen table.
Oh, yeah. No, I always just stuck my hand straight in the box and... It was like a lucky dip. You just stick your hand in the Rice Krispies and rattle around until you found the toy.
It was in with the cornflakes, wasn't it? That can't be very hygienic,
Absolutely
can it?
Not.
I don't remember caring.
A bit of plastic tat that's been in a warehouse for like 6 months in China, and then they're putting it in your cornflakes.
I mean, to be fair, it was usually in a little bag. It wasn't like just wrapped it straight in.
You're reminding me. Yes.
Not always.
No, I think it was in a bag.
But to be fair, how excited were you to get this bit of tat that was like no bigger than your thumbnail, just in this packet of cornflakes? Woohoo!
I want to hear about Barbie stickers. I mean, what was the stickers?
Honestly, it was Barbie and that. It was horrendous. But you had to collect them once you got that book, which you got kind of for free. It was horrendous.
Yeah, that's how it starts. To get you hooked early.
Absolutely.
I remember having arguments with my brother trying to get the stuff out of the cereal packets as well, because it was a case of, okay, it looks like I'm finishing this cereal. That means he gets to open the next packet. Okay, I don't think I'll have that cereal today. I want toast today. I'll let him finish that.
You know what though? When you're an only child, it doesn't quite work like that. You're just eating that cereal for like the next 3 months.
Well, Dory's just saying on the chat that apparently if you have brothers and sisters, there was always a stupid rule about whose bowl it fell into.
Oh, yes.
Like, if it fell into your bowl when you're pulling out the cereal, it was yours.
That's why it was in the packet with cereal, because you tipped it out and you got pot luck.
Oh, I don't like them odds. I really don't.
No. And well, we was actually watching Crank, and then we switched over to this. So I don't know if you spoke about it yet, because I was never into sport. I collected the Panini Transformers album.
Yes.
I spoke about that. Yeah, I managed to get it all.
And I had the Thundercats one.
Oh, I didn't know they did Thundercats.
Oh, see, I'd have been one.
Yes.
Excellent.
But see, then I said to you, and you reminded me about that. I remember when they did the Transformers sweets. Do you remember?
The jelly
ones.
ones.
The jellies in a tray.
They were horrible, weren't they?
Yeah, but it was a Transformers sweet.
You speak how to get the He-Man ones as well.
Oh,
Yes, that's
the
right, He-Man.
yeah. Oh, I'm regressing to 5.
The Transformers, you turn them into poo.
I'm so glad I didn't think of that when I was a kid. Oh, that's disgusting.
More than meets the eye.
More than meets the eye, and don't touch your eyes as well.
We're lovely to speak to you.
No worries, man. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye.
That was a wonderful little interlude.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that, and they're halfway through Crank as well.
Blimey, they're doubling up on their podcast tonight, aren't they?
Wow.
I half expect them to be watching an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation on a iPad or something as well.
Multiple television's going.
Yeah.
Like David Bowie and The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Everything for podcasts at the same time.
Right, I'm going to have to look at these muscle men. I need to see these because I know.
I tried searching for muscle men and immediately realised that was not a good idea. We need something more specific.
There's already a link.
Your search history has got Star Wars busts and muscle men in there. Oh,
yeah, I know. It's not going to look good for me, is it? Really?
I remember the muscle men. Definitely.
Holy crap! Apparently, it was a Brave Star sticker album. Who the hell collected that?
Awesome. So the Gremlins one that we were talking about earlier on. So I take it told the story of just the actual film then.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. It's been so long, but I think that was the idea. I had the story about 6 million times over without actually having seen the film. But yeah, I think it just did the plot.
Gotcha. What have you put in this room as well?
Ah, the Muscle Men. I do remember those. Yeah. How weird. What did they actually do anything? I mean,
no. I think they were just little figures.
Weren't they squidgy?
Yeah, and rubbery. Squidgy. Yeah, they're very unpleasant flesh colour as well, aren't they? Ew. I don't want to know what they're made of.
Flesh.
You have to think that it was the government's way of just removing a couple of children from the system by letting them choke on it, really, wasn't it?
These are not like those ones that sort of like you left in water and they grew.
Yeah, they look like they ought to do that, but I have a feeling they didn't, did they?
No, I don't think they did, no.
And they also look like they ought to go on the end of a pencil as well. They've probably got big holes in their butts.
Yeah.
Let's not pursue that one, eh?
Possibly not, no.
You've just tickled me with that.
Of course, these days you get the little Lego figures as well, don't you?
Yeah.
In the packets, which people
mystery bags.
Mystery bags. Grown-ups fighting each other over.
And it's the whole thing of groping the bag to try and.
Yeah, you get the figure whisperers who can sort of pick it up and fondle the bag, work out which one's inside.
Oh, you've done that as well, then, have you?
I've tried and failed, but I've no idea when I've tried it. The only one I've succeeded on, there was a mystery bag set that the kids were into of Mario Kart figures.
Right.
And they were after Toad, and that wasn't exactly difficult. It was like, oh, yeah, mushroom shape, I got it, yeah.
Well, there was a spate of people collecting Smurfs during the 80s, possibly 90s as well. And now they go for huge money.
I think, weren't they the ones that came in, like, Kinder Eggs did like a little range of Smurfs that you could get?
I think
they did at one time, yeah. But back in the day, they were, again, I think they were a thing you got from garages.
It's odd how garages seem to have driven a lot of our collecting.
They were little treasure troves, garages back in the day that sold you practically everything, yeah.
They don't do stuff like that no more, though, do they? They don't even do the Legos. They like the Lego people. But all you can get nowadays is DVDs. Okay, you're not really good. Well, I suppose people in the back seat are going to watch DVDs. and CDs and just horrible collections of music, really.
Out-of-date Ginsters pasties.
Oh, God. Don't remind me. What other collections were there? I can't remember of anything else that I used to collect.
Well, I'll tell you what there is now that I'm horribly addicted to, and it's up there with blooming Panini stickers, and that's Pokemon cards, which my daughter's got me hooked on because she wanted me to buy some for her birthday. Of course, I had to buy some to be able to play with her. Next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, they're quite good. Them, I'll just buy one packet just so I've got a bit of choice, and I want a few of that type, and I haven't got any of those yet, so buy another packet. Oh man, the money I've spent on Pokemon cards this year is frightening.
Well, yeah. There's those Magic the Gathering cards and that as well. I mean, that's big business.
Oh yeah, and that's again, you got the ultra rare cards that go for big money on eBay. I mean, it's scary stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, get those like in a winning deck because obviously they're competitive and you play with them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a big industry.
So, what is this Magic the Gathering card things?
It's like a card battling game thing. Cards have different sort of abilities, and you sort of play them against each other, and yeah,
it's a bit like
tournaments, like global tournaments.
It's a bit like Games Workshop, but instead of figures, you've got pictures on cards with stats, basically. So it's kind of, I suppose, Top Trumps-ish, effectively.
Right, okay.
But it's a lot more complicated than that because you've got different types of cards that can do different things.
Oh, that sounds violently addictive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, the really good cards are really hard to come by, so...
Dorian saying, do any of us remember the McDonald's wind-up toy range of little French fries and hamburgers and stuff that walked?
No, I don't remember that.
I don't remember those, but I do remember what DJM253 was saying. That they did little transforming toys, like little like robots that would turn into some fries or a burger and stuff. I do remember those.
McDonald's Transformers?
Yes.
Robots. McDonald's bots transform and roll out very slowly because you've eaten too many burgers.
The one that turned into a straw was really shit.
That's probably the most complicated one because it starts out as like a long stick, but you pull it out into lots and lots of tiny little bits, and it all twists up into something really, really complex.
Oh God, no, I don't remember any of that at all.
Yeah, no, I'm just making that bit up.
No, I think I may have found them. I'll just put it in the thing now. It's like it's a packet of fries with Optimus Prime's head by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, because, they really needed to disguise themselves as fast food in order to blend into society. Presumably they didn't arrive back in prehistoric days, because, I mean, that doesn't make any sense, would it?
That's where the Dinobots came from.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, well, I think we've done long enough talking about collections and stickers. I think that suit the crowds for now. Are there any last words, or would you like to just plug away on what you've got?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything in terms of our memories of collectibles.
Okay, cool. Okay then. Well, thank you very much for joining us in the chat room. Thank you, everyone. It's been rocking. I do believe the kids would say nowadays.
I wouldn't know.
Pete, thank you very much for joining me.
No worries.
Would you like to share what you have to the rest of the world?
Beyond my beer, yes. If you want to listen to my dribbling on about Star Trek, currently we're mainly doing Star Trek Deep Space Nine. My good lady wife here indoors, Anne-Marie and myself. It's on the bOrgCast. And likewise, you can also hear me talking with Lee and Andy Plastides about spaceships on Space Dock Jury. And no, I still haven't forgiven you for Mr. Spoon.
Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten all about that. Maybe
believe me, I haven't.
Maybe we'll have a little chat in the green room after about that.
Over a Coke.
Yeah. And Dave, would you like to plug away, please?
Thank you very much, sir. You can hear more of me on Twice as Bright, Half as Long, where we talk about shows that have only lasted 2 seasons, and we're currently in the middle of our coverage of Twin Peaks. And just got quite excited because somebody pointed out that that Agent Carter being cancelled, while sad, also means it's now eligible to be covered on Twice as Bright, Half as Long. So
cool.
That may well go on the list for future viewing. And you can also hear me on my chat show Tangential Deviation. And you can find both of those on GeekPlanetOnline.com.
Nice one. Thank you very much. Well, I suppose I should plug away as well. You can also join me. I'm the 4th chair on Black Dog. It popped out of my head then just for a moment. Christ. I'm going to get in so much trouble for that. Flipping out. You can find that at blackdog.geekplanetonline.com. It's a chat movie review kind of club type thing. You probably know it. I'm sure you've heard of it once or twice. We do have Patreon, so you can head towards the Shonky Lab page, which is at shonkylab.com, and we got all the links there for either future episodes, which I think the next episode will be about schools. So if anyone wants to join me to talk about schools, get in touch with me either via the Twitter or Facebook or email or anything like that. I am touchable, shall we say, or contactable would be a better word.
Yes, I think I'd stick
contactable.
With
Yeah, let's not go for touchable. Oh dear, I can hear that yew tree ringing in the background. And with that, I suppose we will bid you adieu, and it's just time for me to say, please leave quietly. This is a residential area.